Hey, what is up, YouTube Boxing family? It is I, K-Rod here. I wanted to bring some news out on women's boxing. For those of you that don't know, Miss Beautiful Queen herself, Seniesa Estrada, signs a multi-year contract with Top Rank. She is now the second female to sign with Top Rank ever in all of women's boxing. And yeah, I figured that I'd talk about it. I'm not really too surprised with this. I mean, I kind of wish Seniesa went more of like a PBC route. I think like honestly, like you know, I'm not always gonna be like the one to say PBC is always at the best route, but I like to see Al Heyman get into the business of women's boxing more because we all know Top Rank, they don't give two shits about female boxing. The only time that you really ever see a women's card when it's either stacked or, well, actually, no. Top Rank doesn't really do a good job anyway because Bob Arum said it himself that he doesn't give two shits about women's boxing. But I just feel like in this equation, the only reason why women's boxing is relevant is because us men, we keep the sport, alive. But the women that do support the sport, it's like a very small minority. It's obviously like, the men that actually do like watching the sport, and the very few women that actually do talk about female boxing on YouTube, minus from the men that do it, like myself. But that's really why women's boxing is is still relevant. But in regards to Top Rank, I'm not really too much of a fan of this move. I feel like Top Rank is gonna try to do something to Seniesa where she's not gonna get her better end of the stick financially. I mean, granted, she left Golden Boy, in which I thought that was a fantastic idea because Oscar De La Hoya, he's not doing anything for her career in the first place anyway. So I don't understand why Seniesa would ever waste her career away going with Golden Boy. I think her best options were to go with somewhere beyond the lines with PBC or try to get a deal in with Matchroom. But I just like me personally, I don't think Top Rank is a good sign. I think Top Rank is not the best business in the world to look after a women's financial opportunities. I don't think women like Michaela Mayer is balling out with $100,000 paychecks. I find that hard to believe even before she was a world champion, and when she became a world champion, I don't think she's making that much money. I'm pretty sure, if I got into IT right now, I would be making way more money than Michaela Mayer and Seniesa Estrada combined, because there's just way more money in IT, regardless if you're a man or a woman. But the fact of the matter shows that Top Rank does not do good with female boxing in general. So now the question still remains: is like where is Seniesa gonna be put gonna be put under this list? Because I do like the fact that she wants to take a little dip inside the the Top Rank stable to see how that's gonna work out for her last coming years, because she is in her 30s if I'm not mistaken. I don't think she's. Hold on. I think she's 30. Is the Queen 30 years old? Yes, she is. She just turned 30. Happy birthday to the to the Mexican Queen herself, Seniesa Estrada. But I think this is not a good move. I don't think this really helps her career, but she's a decent fighter to say the least. I don't know how Bob Arum and the Top Rank, I guess management will push her career, knowing that she's fighting at minimum weight, and that's 105 pounds for those of you that don't know. That's not really too much of a deep division. I guess if you guys want to know what's going on in this division, nothing really. The most notable fighter in this division would be Yokasta Valle. She's a very, very good fighter. I love watching her fight. She's going to unify her IBF title against Fifi Ni Nguyen. This is, a pretty decent fight. She's really not that big in her experience. She's a 25-year-old Vietnamese, lady. Decent fighter. She has some decent fight experience, but I think Valle, if she gets the job done and she unifies it to go for undisputed, I think her and Seniesa Estrada are probably going to see each other very soon. There is the other champion, if I'm not mistaken, for the WBA. I forgot which one it is. Well, actually, no. I think yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, Seniesa. She has the WBA, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking, yeah, I'm thinking about the WBC, but I don't, I don't know who's up the WBC World Champion. That's the biggest problem that I'm trying to think of right now. Because Sylvia Torres, she's not the WBC. It doesn't say right here, but if I'm not mistaken, isn't Tanya Hernandez the WBC champion? I don't know, man. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I've really kept up with these divisions, but I'm almost positive that the WBC is either vacated or it's not. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I really don't know. There's like nothing I could think of. Yeah, like I don't see no WBC champion on some of these ladies. But yeah, let me go online while I'm talking about this. But yeah, I mean, Senesa's legacy path isn't really, in a good position. I don't really think she should really push for top rank for that much long. I mean, I'm pretty sure the contract, I would really hope it's not like, I'd probably say 5 years or basically whatever, but I'm pretty sure she's trying to get the most money out of it. It does say that she did sign for whatchamacallit. She signed for a multi-year deal for $700,000, which isn't bad. I mean, that's okay. I just don't know what is really going on with I guess with the fight selection. I don't know who's really going to be on there on Top Rank for her to beat up on, but I really don't know. But yeah, either way, man, I think this is a decent move in the right direction, because ESPN is a very, very big network for any boxing fight to be posted. So I think it's a really good sign and a very good symbol that Seniesa Estrada, she's kind of doing what she has to do in order to make her money worth. And I mean, Golden Boy was probably not paying her that much money to begin with, but I don't blame her. But yeah, right about here, I believe this is the right division I'm looking at. This is the strawweight division, which would be called the minimum weight. But I think this is the champion that we have for the WBC, and I'll be doing a look up on her, Christina Ruprecht, and I've heard about her. She's a good, decent fighter. I mean, she's not like the greatest, but she got some decent skills. But yeah, she is the WBC minimum weight champion, so that's a decent fight. Down the line, I'm not too sure if she's been back in the ring lately, because I'm pretty sure those rankings have been pretty outdated. But who knows? The WBC's trash with putting rankings up, so I don't know, man. I really, really don't know what's going to happen with that WBC title. But if that's going to be the case, then I think that's going to be, the ultimate bottom line. Yeah, I'm going to follow Christina. But, oh, wait, actually, no, that's not the right one, right? No, that's not. Okay. Alright, yeah. We'll just go away from that. Alright, but yeah, man. I mean, let me go back to the article. This is a good, decent article, to say the least. And it was a pretty good article for me to, dive into. But let me just skim right through it. It says right here, reigning 2-division world champion Seniesa Superbad Estrada, the pound for pound fighting force from East Los Angeles, California, has signed a multi-year promotional contract with Top Rank. I am extremely excited to be part of the Top Rank family. I'm eager to get back in the ring and continue where I left off, winning world titles, putting on exciting fights, and unifying in 3 divisions. Thank you, Top Rank, for giving me the opportunity to represent women's boxing alongside Michaela Mayer. There's no better timing than now to be with a promotional company like Top Rank and fight on such a great platform to show the world that women's boxing is here to stay. I'm ready to shine. Estrada is a current WBA minimum weight and WBO junior flyweight champion. Okay, so she has multiple. She has two belts in two different divisions. She will make her top rank debut on ESPN later this year. Okay, so that'll be probably by, maybe early fall or maybe late, late winter time in December. Seniesa is one of the world's premier fighters and is well on her way to becoming a superstar in the sport, said Top Rank chairman. Bob Arum, just gaslighting, but okay. She is an engaging young woman who brings unbridled passion into the ring every time she fights. I'm ecstatic that she joined our tremendous roster of world champions. Estrada, an 11-year pro, has been on the forefront or at the forefront women's boxing meteoric rise over the past decade. A former U.S. amateur standout with more than 100 fights in the unpaid ranks. Estrada first walked into a boxing gym, blah blah blah, at the age of 8. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into that. I am thrilled that Estrada has signed with Top Rank and will have the opportunity to showcase her talents to the largest possible audience, said Jerry Cesaris, Estrada's manager. The best is yet to come. Estrada notched a signature victory in November, a dominant technical decision over bitter rival and U.S. Olympic bronze medalist Marlon Esparza. In 2021, Estrada went 3-0 and firmly established herself as a pound-for-pound force. She snatched the WBA title from longtime champion Annabelle Ortiz in March, dominated Tenkai Tsunami over 10 rounds in July to win the WBO junior flyweight crown, and defended her minimum weight title in December with the fourth round stoppage over Maria Machio. Estrada is currently ranked number 6 on the ESPN Women's Pound for Pound list. Yeah, with hardware in 2 divisions and a 3rd division firmly in her crosshairs. Estrada next championship chapter is about to be written. Okay. I'm not really impressed, and I don't really care about that, because that's how Top Rank really be pushing these fighters. They they try to make them into like inglorious, superstars that are not really superstars. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the movie Inglourious Bastards, but the difference is just that, they're not funny. They're making themselves kind of like less notable with anything that you can really think of. But I think this is a decent decision. I mean, I think there needs to be a push from the PBC where you could see more women fight on that network, because let me just state like my case here, but I think the PBC has done a way better job of putting on a women's fight. And even to a certain degree, when you've seen women's fights on the PBC, a lot of viewership really carries over. Like when Clarissa fought on PBC, especially on Showtime a couple times, a lot of people were like, yo, Clarissa, she's definitely on that level. And on top of that, you get to see more of those women be pushed up like the right way. And I mean, there's plenty of other female PBC fights that are on the card, or that were on cards that were untelevised. But it just comes to show, like, the more push that we can get the women to be on other networks rather than Top Rank or just Golden Boy or DAZN or Matchroom, I think that's where the sport will just naturally evolve, and then it'll be just as popular as men. But the problem is just like, why would you leave it to a fucking promoter? I think the biggest takeaway from this is that you stand behind promoters where they don't give two shits about you. And the biggest issue that I have with women that stand behind a promoter versus standing up for themselves is that you guys have trust issues with the men that don't like you. With the men that don't like you, they don't trust you for the fact that they don't think that you sell enough to think that we don't really care about you. And then on top of that, you don't really appeal any of your marketability to the women. And I think this is a very great point for me to bring up, because women's boxing is mostly appeal to men. Not just for, I guess like for weirdos, in the back, not for the sexual appeal. It's just that when you see a woman, to the natural, mindset of a man's consciousness, we as men, we don't naturally turn into women's boxing. We will naturally turn into men's boxing because men sell, not just because of the attributes, the physical, benefits and perks that some guys have. Oh, boxing, boxers, come in there like it's like a muscle sport. No, it's not. That the sweet science is there and the technicality is there, but there's something that is there for the men that provide, the glitz and glamour in boxing, and that is personality. And I think that's something that a lot of women fail to understand in women's boxing, where women are not successful in that. There's not a lot of females that like to talk trash to actually sell a fight. You don't have those women that will come to the ring and actually say, "Hey, do you got any excuses tonight, bitch?" Or, "Hey, bitch, I'm gonna knock you out and send you back to Jupiter," or "I'm gonna rip your hair and turn it into a new makeover," something like that. But it's like you don't see women that do that on at an all-time high. See, in the WWE, women like divas do that. Divas sell themselves to the women that watch it and the men that like it, not just because that they're hot. It's because divas do a good job by promoting themselves outside of outside of their sport, but on top of that, they do a great job luring the fans to have a good build up to something. But now you can say that for boxing, that's not like that for women's boxing. The problem with women's boxing is that women don't want to take a risk in saying something to the public to make people understand, oh wow, yo, she's a bad lady. She can do some damage, blah blah blah, and whatnot, but she doesn't like to talk a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like people will always say that trash talking doesn't help you in boxing fights, but to me personally, trash talking does, because boxing is 80% mental, 20% physical. And similar to militaristic warfare in terms of psychology, you have to play the mental, the mental fortitude game of putting somebody in their, unnatural position. And I think, for me at least, I came from like a military family, but, everything that I studied out of any form of militaristic warfare, especially coming from any of my relatives that have served, I can easily tell that the main cost of war is mental fortitude. And compare that to boxing. If you don't have mental fortitude and you have people that like to get under your skin, where you have this mental breakout where you flip your switch and you don't look as good as you do, that's a good trick to fool your enemy in order to win the wars that you get into. But on top of that, get into fights that you can win as well. So my final thing on this is that if women want to be at that level with men, they have to, innovate their personality, marketing mindset when they get into the ring, and they have to make themselves look more, feasible to the audience. But on top of that, I think there needs to be a consolidation of weight classes too. I've been saying that for quite a while now. I think it's time to see women fight at bigger weights. I don't think Seniesa Estrada is really doing anything legacy-wise to be marketable at 105. I think she would look way better at 118 or maybe 122 or 126. But if we are going to have 8 divisions, I would probably bring it up to featherweight, because even though that, Seniesa, she's a quote-unquote small lady, but it's like she's really not that small. I'm not gonna say that she's super duper big. sorry for any women that are listening, but I'm just saying that Seniesa Estrada is only campaigning at those weight classes because she knows what's gonna happen when she moves up in weight, with the competition getting a little bit more difficult, because the women are bigger, they can take a good shot. And I think that if you can compare a Zarina McCoy at 118, or I'd say maybe a weight class above, maybe 122, around that weight, I think her and Zarina would be a way more difficult fight for her at least. But for Zarina, she knows like what she has to do to beat Seniesa. But Seniesa understands that Zarina, she's a big girl, but on top of that, she has major athleticism, at the higher weight. And she's only getting better. She's only like 20 something or 21 if I'm not mistaken. So that's a plus for Zarina, but for Seniesa, she figures that if I stay at these lower weights, I can take advantage of what I can do, in which is not being a weight bully per se. You're just basically abusing yourself to stay at that weight, and you know what's going to happen when you do move up in weight. So I think with Seniesa Estrada, if she wants to make herself more marketable and make more money in the sport, I think it's better to move up in weight. I think it's better to start talking a little bit more shit. I think it's better to start putting yourself out there to make yourself more outspoken and more marketable for that sense. But similar to that with Clarissa Shields and Amanda Serrano, Clarissa and Amanda are the only women, hands down. Salute to both of the lovely queens themselves, but they're the ones that are actually talking their talk. They're being hyper aggressive now with saying what they have to say, and that's a great thing, because that's what's going to make the sport better for the women in the coming years. And I'll do my part to help out, but I just think with these women that sign with Top Rank or any promotional business that doesn't care about women's boxing, that just clearly shows that they're just comfortable with what the situation is, and they're too afraid to speak out. They're too afraid to actually make a good point and actually make a better example of themselves. Because for me, at least, for me as a consumer, I want to see a woman like, let's just say, I'll just say a woman that's that's obviously not Clarissa or Amanda, but I'll use a fighter like man, there's not that many good fighters these days, but I'll say Sophie Ali. She's a great fighter. I would love to see Sophie Ali come over to the States more, but the problem is that with the promotional business that she has to probably go through in order to bring herself to that level here in America, that's something where more women need to come together, and they need to get behind networks that actually do like to see the women fight. And I think that in Sophie's case, like, let's just say if the PBC really wanted to get into women's boxing, Al Heyman can easily get these women to come over to the PBC, probably offer a good couple million here and there, or a couple $100,000 couple $100,000 fights here and there. I'm just saying, if Al Heyman wanted to do that, he can do it. He's done it before with Clarissa and some other decent name fighters, but if that can happen a lot more on a larger scale, where women can start being like a co-main event or a third to last fight, leading up to the co-main event, where you put at least 2 to 3 female fights. At least do that. If PBC can do that, I will definitely give Al Heyman his credibility, because Al Heyman, he has the money to pay a woman her worth. But the problem is just that if Al Heyman doesn't want to put on like a fight that he doesn't see marketable, then there's a reason why there's not that many women fighting on certain undercards. But I think it should be pushed out more, where the PBC, they should start putting themselves out there more, where they could easily change women's boxing. So I don't know. I'll probably do like a poll on this, but I think honestly the biggest issue of the matter is that women are too afraid to speak up for themselves, because they don't want to screw up the money for themselves as they get higher into the rankings to become a notable player in their division. And I don't find that to be good. I think more women need to start talking their talk and being more hyper aggressive with what they say. I don't like seeing women like Michaela Mayer and Seniesa Estrada use a promoter to make excuses for fights not being made properly, and then they say, "Oh, well, go with this promotional company. They do such a great job in helping people out." And yet they don't do two shits they don't give two shits about you. I'm just keeping it real, but it's Michaela Mayer is not a notable name. She's not a marketable name. No one gives two shits about her. And it's the same thing with, Seniesa, like, Estrada. I mean, granted, she has garnered a good marketability for herself in certain parts of what the domestic areas here in America, but as far as like a global, like, on a global level, I don't think that's really happening. And I think that, the best network that could actually help out women's boxing, go, skyrocket up to an all-time high, would be the PBC. I think PBC can easily market those fights. You could easily throw on plenty of fight cards where women can start actually fighting on men's, undercards. But then if you want to have like an all women female card, similar to like a Katie Taylor or Amanda Serrano type of fight, that would be awesome. Do it. I think PBC can do it. I think Al Heyman, he could easily change up women's boxing real quick if he really wanted to do it. And I think he could very well change that up. But I think it's time for, for the women to start pushing for certain networks that really do care about the females, and start giving these women their money, because the women are delivering in good fights. They are giving the fans amazing fights. But I don't want to sit here years later, when I get old and I'm closer to my deathbed, where I'm watching female fights that are being hosted by Top Rank and DAZN, where they're not doing shit, to take care of the females. So, I mean, me personally, I want to see women become their own bosses, and women need to start, taking control more. But that's pretty much it, man. I don't have too much really to say. I don't think this is a good move that Seniesa had done. It's decent to say the least, because she is getting paid a good, decent contract. But at the end of the day, I don't think Top Rank is really gonna do anything good for her, other than she's just gonna get paid a good, decent amount of money. But then on top of that, what type of fights is she gonna get? Is she gonna go for undisputed, or is she going to, go for undisputed in her divisions that she has belts in, and then move up and try to do the same thing at flyweight or super flyweight? Or shit, honestly, she should do it at bantamweight and above. But I don't know, man. I think Seniesa, she's playing everything. She's playing everything out safely. She knows what she's getting herself into, and I think she understands that her competition level is comfortable to her preferable liking. But that's pretty much it, man. I got nothing else to really say. Let me know what you guys think, and be sure to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. And that's it, man. I'm out, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.